now we're going to focus on the woman, and our first our first panelist for this evening is none other than Petula Skeete. She's a woman of God. She's a mother. She is an Emmy Award-winning hairstylist. She's an entrepreneur. She's a businesswoman. She is a giver. She has a nonprofit, and she just does so many things to impact women and girls, and I admire her so greatly. So I am going to, there's a video that I will start. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I'll she's smiling. I see her there. So just gonna play like the first.
Hi guys, I'm Petula Skeete, a 6-time Emmy Award-winning hairstylist at Good Morning America, a motivational coach, the founder of Uplifting You, nonprofit organization, a proud mother of 2, and now I'm adding under my belt author. My journal, Uplifting Your Ultimate Dream, teaches you how to achieve your goals within 7 days. Now I'm sitting down with Robin Roberts, the leader of the Glam Squad, and I'm going to just go over my framework of my book, my journal, and we're just going to have a dream chat, right, Robin?
I'm just looking at you in awe right now. Who are you? You're not the one when I met all those years ago. I love this.
I'm telling you, Robin,
I love this.
It's been 2 decades.
I know.
2 decades. Lots of hairstyles, traveling, photo shoots, ups, downs. Started right here in this room. What comes to mind when you hear all of that?
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for all the different hairstyles, and because I love when we do retrospectives, but I don't like seeing some of my styles and clothing choices from years past. Not your fault or anybody's fault, but it's just how time is. What I think of really is family.
Yes.
When I think of you, when I think of us, when I think about how I've seen your family grow, you've seen my family change,
Yes.
You've seen me get married, but this family, this chosen family that we have, and who knew 2 decades ago,
2 decades
when
ago.
you came, come stumbling into my case, you came stumbling almost into my life. So
but I'm here to stay.
I know, but I love the metamorphosis of you. But my earliest memory of you is, you were going to fill in for my hairstylist at the time, and you had the stove.
The stove.
Oh, I can't believe I still have.
We're going way back.
We go have that. For those who get it, people right now going, "Ooh, you had the stove," and I just remember how timid you were and how unsure of yourself
I was
you were.
just doing it afraid.
Really?
I was doing it afraid. Yes, I was. I was doing it afraid.
But you were doing it.
Yes.
And it was like you were figuring things out on the go, but you were always had a spirit about you. You were always gracious. You were always, there was always something special about you. And to have seen you grow has been just one of the highlights of my life.
Robin,
All right. Escape. Hold on. I want to make sure I get my hold on a second. I need to escape so that it comes back and I don't lose my PowerPoint again. Bear with me. All right. Okay, great. So Petula, you have been a hairstylist to the stars for over 2 decades. You've won Emmy Awards for your amazing talent, but it goes beyond, way beyond just talent, right? So tell us about your upbringing as it relates to your self-perception back then, and how you made the decision to use your formative experiences growing up to help you be intentional about setting goals for yourself and do whatever it takes to be the woman that you know or knew you were created to be.
Good evening, ladies. Please, would all the ladies turn their cameras on, because I want to give you a special happy International Women's Day. Ladies, we're not hiding our faces. We're in the place. We are here. And I'm happy that I get to do that to you because sometimes I hide my face and someone would have to pull me up and be like, girl, show that face. And if it's one day you're going to show your face, it's today, right? Thank you guys. Well, how I lost track of the sentence of the question that you asked me because I just wanted to big up the ladies, you know what I'm saying? But so how I got into the beauty space. I am from a small island, Nevis. I'm pretty sure most of you guys here are West Indians think it's in Nevis. And so I'm from Nevis. And growing up, I wish they saw that picture. It said, I am a masterpiece. And if you saw that picture, you yourself would be like, woo, she looked rough, you know. But growing up, I was always the tallest girl in the class. I was always the darkest one. And imagine, right, that you're 10 years old and you're wearing size 10 shoes. That was me. So at that time, we all pick on each other and everything. They used to always say all these things about me. And I felt like an outcast. My confidence was robbed by the time I was 6 years old. I can remember it just like right today, going to school, couldn't fit in. And I told myself, like, from then, I was always dreaming to become Cinderella. I wanted to wear that glass slipper, not size 10. Now it's size 13, imagine. I'm wearing a size 13 shoes, right? But I'm proud to wear that glass slipper size 13. I'm proud. And so I wanted to become Cinderella. And I always was thinking, how, because no one ever told me that I was pretty. No one ever told me I was beautiful. So fast forward, when I came to the United States, when I was 15 years old, my mom was like, when you finish college, what are you going to do? I was like, I'm going to beauty school. I'm going to purchase beauty. And beauty to me was bleaching my skin and scrubbing some black off my skin and just become, and that's how I went to beauty school. And when they told me the cost to go to beauty school, I know it was beyond just going to scrub some darkness off my skin. And that's how my career got started. I graduated as a cosmetologist. So that's how the beauty came into me. But I wasn't nowhere near, I didn't know what I wanted to be wanted to do when I was growing up.
Oh wow. Oh wow. What a story and a testimony, And I mean, you're just so beautiful. You're beautiful inside and out. And like I said to you before, there are so many women. Unfortunately, we often like look at other women and wish that we were like them or had what they had and stuff. And I mean, I don't really want to say this, but there are so many women who wish they're you. You know what I mean?
You know,
But I
that
pray
is
for after this conversation that everyone would just feel very comfortable in the skin that they're in, with their height, their size, and everything that God, everything that makes them who they are, based on the way that they were created. Of course, if you've put on a little extra weight and you want to lose it, that's different, right? You weren't necessarily born like that, right? You can do something about that. But in terms of those things that you know we were born with, I just pray that every woman just appreciates it and remember that we are all made in God's image and likeness. So we heard Robin express that when we look back, we often wonder, what was I thinking? What was I thinking with that hairstyle or that outfit? And we know that's time, right? It's time. And so when we think of time, there's something to be said about not progressing with time in any area of our life, basically, right? But for women who feel guilty spending time or money on their hair, what would you say about why it matters? How can hairstylists help women feel more confident beyond just like the physical transformation, right? Many women feel like a good hair day can change their whole
yeah,
mood.
it
We've
can.
all been there, right? So why do
No,
you think hair plays such a big role
ladies,
in confidence? And, if possible, can you share of a story when a hair transformation truly empowered a client?
ladies, we should not feel guilty about um beautifying ourselves at all because beauty comes from the inside, right? And whatever you have, once you cleanse your inside, it's going to show on the outside. And when Robin spoke about her hairstyles of past, she was not really talking about when I was doing her hair. It was beyond that. And it didn't come over well. So I was like, let me make sure I clarify that because, but Robin, even the story of Robin, like I'm going to use her. When I first started with her, I was afraid because someone asked me to fill in for her and to do her hair. And I tried to do her hair like the other person, and it didn't work because that was not my work and it wasn't what I had in store for her. When I work with a young lady, I work with her like her own personality. I work with what goes with her face shape. I work with what goes with her lifestyle. And because she was Robin Roberts, I was like, oh no, I can't mess up. I can't do this. And then I tried to be someone else. And it didn't work. I was like, Lord, I hope she give me a second chance. And she liked it. She booked another and she came in. And that's when I showed up as myself and brought out the best from within her. So we should not feel guilty about spending money on, because another thing is before someone hear you, they see you, right? And it's so sad that we are judged no matter what. You don't even have to say anything. You just have to show up and you are judged. So if you're going to be judged, be your best self. Be your best self and let you already judge yourself. You already give yourself the approval and whatever else someone else want to say, it's fine. But show up being your best you. And don't, like you said, don't dim your light for someone else. Don't do that. And we all tend to do that. Be like, oh no, I can't do this because no. And you know what? That person is not even thinking about you sometimes. And then when you go out and they're not saying anything, they give you a compliment, then you're like, oh, so then you go around in your head trying to please others. But the first person you should please is yourself. So to answer your question, when you go to a hairstylist or a hair care specialist to take care of your hair, to take care of your crown, you go for yourself. Be in your moment, be in your own space, and let them give you that hairstyle that's best for you. A lot of people, I would say, like, every time a celebrity comes out with a hairstyle, they were like, oh no, I want the Beyonce, the lemonade braids. Now, let me tell you, if the Beyonce did not like the lemonade braids, you think she would have presented that to the world for you? And then you don't have the face shape like her, and you don't care. You know that you're in style. You put the lemonade braids in your hair, and it takes away from your beauty, opposed to adding to your beauty. So you have to know what works for you.
Amen. And I'm so glad you said that because that's actually why I started with you, because our here is our crown. Literally, that's what I was thinking. And you just said it. So I'm so happy that you did. And it's the first thing people see, really, you know. And I just love how like the hair salon and the barbershop is kind of like the hub, right? Where people would really come together. It's
Oh yeah.
just so
It happens
amazing.
at the hair salon and the barbershop. You want to get the first news or the first whatever, go to the hair salon.
Right, right. And I remember when I was 17 years old, I asked my mom if I could cut my hair off in a very low cut. And, I said, if it doesn't look good, would you buy me a wig? I would always like, because I would just have my hair was permanent, I have it slicked back in one. So when it started growing out, I would kind of like pat it, like hold it just to see how, I would look, right? And so ask her to, if she would buy me a wig if it didn't look good. And this was back in the early 90s. And natural hair wasn't embraced as it is today, right? And then a short natural cut wasn't as popular. And pretty much a woman who had a shortcut back then was assumed to be a lesbian. And I'm just being,
Straight up.
that's how it was, right?
Yeah.
Which again, wasn't as widespread as it is today. So you kind of touched on this, right? If you can zoom in a little bit more, what advice do you have for women who want to embrace their natural hair texture, but they're not sure where to start, right? And what is your take on the idea that hair is really a form of self-expression, and how do you guide clients to find a style that reflects who they really are?
Well, first, when someone comes to me and they ask me, they tell me they want a certain style, I always ask them about their lifestyle. Because if you go to the gym, it makes no sense for you to pay all this money and then you're going to sweat it out, right? So you're going to either think about the pounds that you want to lose, or you're going to think about the money you're going to spend for your hair. So you have to, it's really sitting down and having that consultation. And then I'll give you your medication to say, well, you know what, you should do this or do that, or you know. However, embracing natural hair, oh my gosh, I love that we're doing that right now. I used to have a full head of dreads. I had dreads for like about 12, 13 years. And then my hair started thinning, right? Because I'm at that age where, you know, we're going over transition into our beautiful, beautiful, you know what I'm talking about, right? Okay. And so my hair started thinning and everything. And I was like, you know what? I had to part with my dreads. Everybody's like, why you took your dreads out? Why are you wearing weave or whatever? But I had to wear something that's going to work for my lifestyle. Right. So with the natural hair now, and I have a daughter, and when she was about 13, well, she was born, and she started having an understanding of hair. She always wanted a straight long hair. Why my hair is not like this? I want a weave, I want a ponytail. And this is like a 5-year-old telling me this because I'm a beautician, and she wanted a relaxer, but she has beautiful, soft, natural hair. And I knew that if I put a relaxer in her hair, it was gonna fall out. And she begged me, begged me, begged me. I didn't do it, but I didn't give it to her. I gave her like a weave, like a yaki weave, not at 5 years old, but as she get older, because she had to blend in. That's because in at home you could be one way, but in school, you know how it is with the kids and different hairstyles and backgrounds. So I try to help her in a sense. And one day, when she was about to go to high school, she said, I want to weave. She's ready to do her hair. She wants her own style. I said, why don't you find yourself? I said, you have the most beautiful curls. I said, why don't you cut your hair off and you can color your hair? I would let you put color in it. You could cut it off. And why don't you be a leader? Like, you lead the pack. You lead. And it was hard. And I said, it's summer, just like you told your mom. I said, it's the summertime. So your hair will probably grow back by the time it's time for you to go to school. And she cut her hair off and she never went back. No, she has dreads because she embraced it. And you know what? You have to, some of us is because of lack of knowledge and lack of knowing who you are. Your hair is a part of you. And because we grew up and it's like the first thing you're going to do is like, oh, I can't, your hair is too hard to maintain. Let me put a relaxer in it, you know, but gone are those days really. So now we should really embrace our natural hair if that's what you want, and just learn what your texture can do for you. Our textures can do something, but we always look at the texture that's not our texture wanted to do something that it's our texture cannot do. That makes no sense. So if you really, it's more on the education side of things opposed to just going to the salon, sitting down. What style do you want? No, I went to school. I'm a licensed cosmetologist, right? So when you come and say, hook me up, I say, I don't hook people up. No, we don't do that. You know, I educate you and I let you know what's best for you. I've lost money from a lot of people because I haven't done that. They wanted something and I'm like, I'm not doing it. But guess what? They came back after the fact and I charged them double because you went, you messed your hair up, you came and I have to fix it. No, you're going to pay me my worth and my value.
Amen. Listen, you know what I love? It's like we're just, as a woman, we're so multifaceted, and that's why I said that none of our panelists, you know, can just be categorized in the particular segment that they're representing, because when I tell you, you are literally leading into all of my other questions that I'd like to ask. I kid you not. You know, you talked about lack of knowledge. And so my next question really, you know, is just to ask you to talk about some of the biggest hair care myths that you hear clients talk about and what's the truth behind them.
Hair care myth. It's like, you know, they talk about certain products that grows hair, right? And for me, I believe your hair doesn't grow from the outside. Hair grows from the inside out. And what you put into your body and also genetics has to do a lot with how, if your hair, if you caring for your hair. So there are so many products on the market, and we spend so much money because it's the next best thing. And most of the time, it's just an advertisement. And what you see on Facebook, because most people now, Instagram or TikTok, someone would recommend someone to me, right? And they would say, the person would call me and they would say, "Do you have an Instagram?" And I'm like, "Listen, my Instagram is 24/7. Just look at Robin Roberts or look at Tori Johnson or look at Deborah Roberts." Like, because before TikTok, Instagram, and all of those things, my advertisement was a walk-in advertisement, my client. So, when you see all these things out there and saying grow hair or this is best and that, I'm not knocking anything, but do the research for yourself. Because we spend a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money of buying products, just becoming product junkies. And now is not the time to be doing that. So first, you have to know your hair, understand it, what it's going to do for you. And then you try stuff, but you don't believe everything that people, because you know what? No one's going to show you that their hair falling out, right? No one's going to show you that. And they do not post a bad picture. Have you ever seen anybody post a bad picture on Instagram? The real picture, like when they're home and they try to get to that style. So you just have to know, like, listen, everything that glitters on the gram is not gold. That's the biggest myth right now. Can I get an amen? I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Listen, amen, amen, and amen.
Amen.
I love it. Listen, it's been such a joy speaking with you. And, at this point, I mean, what else do you want to share with us? I mean, you've written a book and I have it here. We're actually going to
I
give
have
this
mine here
away.
too, ladies. But I won't take your time. I won't take your time with this. I came up with the ultimate dream journal, and it's how to achieve your goals within 7 days. Now, we all journal growing up and we all write our feelings and write our day and stuff like that, right? So you know what a journal is, but I've never heard of a dream journal. And this dream journal is just a guided dream journal that you can write in it. And if you have a dream or a goal or a vision, something that you had inside of you for years, months, days, or whatever, and you just want, it teaches you how to bring it to life, taking it from your head, putting it on the paper. You can look at it as if like it's a jigsaw puzzle. Before you purchase a jigsaw puzzle, right, you see the vision. You see exactly how it's going to be. So you see that you get the end result. And a dream is our end result. We normally have that end result to begin with. That's why we want it. But a lot of time we don't know how to really give birth to it. So what this dream journal would do for you is that it would tell you write it out, and it would ask you to write your why. Your why, because your why is like your biggest supporting role to your dream. And sometimes if you write your why, you realize, do I really want to pursue that dream? And if you feel like giving up in your dream and you go back, you see the reason why. And it also teaches you how to create the pieces. Because when you open that jigsaw puzzle, all you're going to get is the pieces and you got to put it together. So it teaches you how to create your own pieces. So now you have your dream all spelled out. It's there for you. And another secret sauce of it is that I broke down action to tell you how to really take it and how to find the accountability partner, the commitment, the time, your obstacles. Obstacles is the biggest thing in here, because if I ask you right now, why haven't you pursue that dream that you may share that you want to pursue? You have a lot of things. If I tell you why have you would not even have a reason why to do it, right? But you would have the reason why not to do it. A lot of us don't embrace our obstacles. Acknowledge them, embrace them. You're going to write it all out here, because once you accomplish that dream, it's all a part of your success. And when I say 7 days, you're like, well, how can you do that in 7 days? Of course. But how can you do it in a year as well? A lot of us, we make resolutions. New Year's come in and we make a resolution. We don't even get past 7 days, right? How many of you are guilty of that? I am. We don't even get past 7 days. So what I did, I just tell you, small goals, big wins. If you pass 7 days, yes, you are a winner. You achieved it. If you may say, well, you want to buy a car, how can I buy it in 7 days or whatever? Maybe you can based on if you have it written out really well. But if you do not, if you didn't get to purchase that car in 7 days, guess what? You're already a winner because you got so many things going. You reward yourself for those 7 days, find another 7 day and go after it again until that dream is done. All right, ladies. So I would hope that please go out, support me on Amazon. She's going to drop the link. And I don't want you to just purchase the book. I want you to use it. I want you to use it because you can get something done. And if you don't use it, give it to someone else. I look at this like the lottery ticket. It's the lottery ticket to the secret sauce that's inside of you.
Yes, well, let me tell you, I mean, I already dropped the link to your website in the chat, the link to your nonprofit, the link to the Amazon page to purchase it. So all they have to do is click. And it's
Seeing it's so funny because I was smiling, but with the dream chat was so good. And what I like about it is that it's, we take you a little bit behind the scenes and just show you what we do. So if also, I don't know if you have the link to the dream chat, but you can drop it in there and they can watch it and laugh and tell me what they think about it. And feedback is great because I'm always here to grow.
Okay, great. I will do that at some point let me write it down, dream chat link. I should just be able to pull it up from
it's a link. All you got to do is press the one that I sent to you and you press it, copy and just share it. But easy for me to say, I'm not tech savvy, but that's where you have kids and you put them to work.
I know, right? Exactly. I do the same thing. Even with the TV, I'm like, come and put this on because I don't even follow that stuff anymore. But this book, we are gonna actually I promised a giveaway, so this is gonna be the giveaway tonight. So at the end of our session, we're going to announce the winner. And you know what, Petula, actually, I have one last thing that I really want to share. Before we transition to our next, hold on, let me get the Zoom again. Zoom. I was supposed to have someone doing all of this for me, and unfortunately, she had an unfortunate situation, so she could not be on. All right, so I'm gonna share this. I'm not gonna make the screen large because hold on. Let's see what's going on here. Oh my goodness. Oh, sorry, I have to go to YouTube. Let's see. Are you guys able to hear?
Good morning, Motivational Monday.
Can you hear it?
So let's talk about dreams. Let's talk about helping others, and let's talk about.
Are you able to hear it?
Yes, yes.
So, what is a dream without the works? I think it's dead. Because if you have a dream, you have to write it down, and then you have to do the work. I mean, it sounds simple, and it can be done. So with me, what I did, I followed my dream. I went searching for beauty because I was told I'm not beautiful. So I went searching for beauty and I became a licensed cosmetologist. Now I'm the hairstylist to the stars. And yesterday I was able to grace the red carpet once again. But this time what I did, I took two young designers with me. I wore their dress, iridescent fashion from Out of St. Kitts by Chavanice and Kiana. And guess what? I made their dream come true by actually putting it on the red carpet. Now they have to do the work.
Wow.
So there's a reason. Hold on, let me stop share. There's a reason why okay, Zoom, I need to Zoom. There's a reason why I need to pause this before something else starts. There's a reason why I share. Where is this? Oh, stop share. All right, stop share. Okay, Zoom is back. There's a reason why I shared that because I just love how it was your desire to support the other young ladies. And unfortunately, as women, we don't always take the time to highlight others and to, just help others shine. And I thought it was very fitting to just share that. Like it touched my heart when you said that.
It touched mine too. I mean, I didn't even remember I mean, I know what I did, and those ladies right now, they're great. One of them went on to FIT, and they're doing big things. They even ended up in the Buckingham Palace.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
So, but I love to help, and I always sometimes I forget all the people that I help. Help is my middle name, you know. So yes, well, thank you for finding that for me. You got to send that to me.
Let me tell you. So,
I've been dreaming a long time.
and let me just share this, right? So it's funny because my undergrad degree is in journalism, and I didn't pursue it for reasons. I had an experience, and I said, if this is what it is, I would have to get up every Monday morning and find a new job, right? Because there are certain things that I was not going to stand for. And so now you see how it's coming full circle and just doing the research, right? I'm like, let me see what I can find to highlight, going through them,
Oh,
watching the videos. I said, this one
oh,
is
oh,
appropriate because of the message that we want to share, right? And what I'm going to say, as I mentioned, after these series of conversations in April, I would like to highlight what other women are doing. And I mean, you coach, right? And I'm doing that as well. We can literally do like a book study or do like a challenge or something, with your book. So we'll talk more about that.
yes.
We'll talk
Thank you
more
so
about that.
much.
All right. Yes, yes, yes. And if there's anything else you want to drop in the chat,
I won't,
just go right ahead.
you have so many other powerful women, and I am awaiting their story because
Yes, we're gonna
that's how
be
I grow. I take a little bit from you, this one and that one, and I customize it
right.
for me. So last week, those ladies was amazing, and I couldn't wait for this week. So
Yeah, I'm just so sad a lot of people can't get on. But I can't really stop to troubleshoot. But we're recording this and we're gonna break it up and put it on YouTube and share it and everything. So, we'll make sure that everyone gets to watch it. We'll see. So unfortunately, one of our panelists, Elena George, if you see me looking down, it's because we're trying to text and trying to figure
St.
it out.
George is
He
my work
cannot
wife,
get
y'all.
on. I
My
know.
work life. Like we've been married for like 20 years. That's the makeup artist to Robin Roberts. And I called her and everything, but I don't know what happened. But she is an amazing woman. I would not divorce her for no one. They say cheaper to keep her. It is. She's cheaper to I have to keep her. I have to keep her. So I don't know. I mean, I could, I can't answer all the questions for her and I can't tell her life story, but she's an amazing, amazing woman. She is. So,
Well,
uh,
we already decided that we're going to reschedule and do a separate session. And,
okay.
we'll be able to share that.